been in New Mexico. We started him at my farm and broke him there, and he's been there since he was a yearling. So all his races have been in New Mexico. He's not traveled outside since he came here.
How back do you go back with Ken?
It's about, I would say, somewhere around 2007, 2000, somewhere in there. I had Pepper's Pride, and he was in New Mexico at that time. Rode a few horses for me, not a lot, but then after Carlos, he started riding horses before Carlos Madera retired, and back then he rode a horse, Attitude Eraser, for me. We won 3 Zia Sprint championships 3 years in a row. I played tricks, a lot of stakes winners, but once Carlos quit, then Ken rode more horses, and then Ken went some other places in between, and it was, but he kind of mainstayed in Zia Park and Sunland Park.
I mean, he's set to enter the record book as the oldest jockey to ever ride in the Derby. What do you think the key to his stability or long-term success has been?
I mean, he works hard, and he's out every day. He keeps active. I don't consider him old. I mean, you look at him, he doesn't look any different to me than he did 10 years ago. I didn't really think about him being the oldest until somebody told me that. I said, well, I guess if that's the case, but he still gets on lots of horses, rides lots of horses. He's in shape and very experienced, very intelligent on a horse, and gets along with horses. I mean, he just naturally gets along with horses.
I mean, you wouldn't have been the first trainer to come here from far away and, quote, get a local guy. Did that ever enter your mind? Not to put you on the spot.
Yeah, that's not what we were thinking about. And I just gave the option to the owner, which is his option to start with. I didn't have to give it to him, but told him, I said, Frank, if you want somebody else, if you want me to send this horse to somebody to train out there that's based there and that's been there and done that, and I said, we'll do it. He's your horse, and that's what we'll do. And he'll get a different rider. They're not gonna bring Ken out here. And he just said no. So that's the end of the conversation, and it was nice.
But that's interesting. You even actually, not just saying, because I thought you were going to say if you want another jockey, you're saying if you want another trainer.
Well, I mean, it's hard. I mean, the horse gets on a plane for the first time in his life, and I have horses there in a fairly large stable, and then I got to come out here and somewhere I haven't ever run a horse and do, I don't know all the people, and there's a lot to it. You don't just bring your horse and everything works. I mean, there's a lot of stuff goes on, and give them the best shot. And we had a lot of complications this year. In New Mexico, we've lost a lot of racing days as of late. It's been very difficult racing there for many reasons, but that's another story. So Sunland Park was over 2 days after we ran. They're shutting the track down. No training after that following Friday. So we just won a race that makes us eligible for the Kentucky Derby, and we have nowhere to train. So we had to make a decision, Todd and I. Todd had a filly for the Oaks, who won the Sunland Park Oaks. So we look at each other and I guess we got to go to Churchill. So his owner starts looking for a plane, and at first asking, there was not going to be one until like the 12th. Well, we got 5 days of nothing. He said, we can't do that. I said, I'm going to hook the trailer on, and we're going to, I'm going to haul them out here and stop along the way, and maybe Lone Star and train and come, because we can't just sit here. And then it ended up that we got a plane on Sunday, Easter Sunday, and so we had a couple down days, but nothing we couldn't live with, and it just, so that quick we're getting on a plane and coming to Churchill, so we had to get all our stuff get my groom ready to go and all your equipment and everything, and it just changed things in a matter of a few seconds. We took FedEx, so the horse had to be there at 5:15 in the morning. They put him in a box and lift him up into the plane and put him on there, and they went to Memphis. So from 5:15, he got here about 9 o'clock at night. So from 5:15 in the morning until 9 at night, they were either on a plane or on a trailer and flew into Cincinnati and van to here. But he came off the trailer happy, and both of them, Todd's filly and him, and started eating and been pretty pleased with how they've acted here.
We're still pretty early into this adventure, but how would you compare it with when you had Pepper's Pride, who was like the gift that kept on giving and giving and giving?
It's a different situation. This is a whole different class of race and situation. And hers, it was like a 4-year journey. This is the same kind of thing, but you only have to endure it for a month, till you get to the race. But hers was every day for 3-4 years,
And she never did get beat, right? She
No,
retired.
She retired unbeaten. 19 for 19.
19 for 19.
And still, I believe, holds the North American record for most consecutive wins without defeat. There have been some horses win streaks, but have been beaten in their career.